Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am live again back to you and talking about today. We're going to talk about the 3 most important parts of your KDP listing. So we're going to sit back and talk about that. If you're new to my channel, I am Ashley Schmidt with Publish with Ashley. You can check out my website at www.http, whatever. Publishwithashley.podia.com, and it is in the show notes. So go ahead, check that out. I've got courses and stuff about ads, and I've got a lot of freebies, and so go check that out. But I'm here to help you make money online with KDP, low content books, repurposing that into Etsy, doing digital products, and kind of things that are hands off to make money online. Like you don't have to ship products, that sort of stuff. So print on demand, right? I do merch as well. So if you have questions about that, let me know. So I see 4 of you are live. Thank you for coming, everyone. The 3 most important parts of your listing. Okay, so the 3 most important parts are your title, subtitle, and your author name. So we're going to go through your title, subtitle, and author name. You don't want to overthink these things. You do want to think about them, but you don't want to overthink them. Overthinking usually ends up meaning you keyword stuff them, which is a no-no on Amazon. They are the most important because they are the heaviest weighted, most heavy, I guess, weighted part of on Amazon's algorithm. So yes, your keywords are important. The 7 keyword boxes definitely are important. But the thing about the 3, the author, title, and subtitle. Hey, Dina from Belgium. That is so cool. I'm thinking. There we go. I'm back. All right. So the reason those things are the most important is because you can't change them. Now, so if you do them wrong, and wrong is relative, right? If you don't do them correctly, then you can't change them. You would have to just either unpublish that book or publish a new book and, fix those and get those right. And I'm sorry for the noises in the background. We have somebody fixing our fireplace today. So yeah, we're going to have some noises. Sorry. But hopefully it's not too distracting. All right. So the reason, those are the most important is because you just can't change those. They are the heaviest weighted in the Amazon algorithm. We don't know all the things about Amazon's algorithm, but we do know that those are the most heavily weighted. Now, the keywords, like I said, are important. They would probably be your most important thing, but those can be changed. You can adjust and change those. I wouldn't recommend changing everything all at once on your keywords. Small changes as you adjust. So I have a product for keywords that it's like a March and October type product. Like it comes around twice a year. It's not a holiday, but it's like an event that comes around twice a year. And so I'm going to actually go through and update my keywords that used to say October. Now I'm going to change them to March. So things like that can be changed with keywords, but your title, subtitle, and your author name can't be changed. So you want to get them right. Okay, so let's talk about those 3 parts. Number 1, your title. Your title is the most important because it's the title. Now, one of the best strategies, and there's a million ways to do this, so don't get hung up on this, but one of the best strategies is to come up with a long tail keyword for your title. What is a long tail keyword, you ask? Okay, I know some of you are new, and even if you're not new, sometimes hearing this over and over and over again, it finally clicks. So a long tail keyword is targeted. You know how I talk about targeting to your specific audience? It is targeted, okay? It is not for everyone. It is not for mothers, brothers, seniors, and their dogs, and a gift for Valentine's Day, okay? That's not targeting your audience. That is not a long tail keyword. A long tail keyword, let me give you an example, is puzzle book for senior citizens to improve memory. So that would be a great title. You know exactly what it is. It's a puzzle book. It's for senior citizens, and it's to improve their memory. And you can move the words around, memory improving puzzles for senior citizens, something like that. But look at type into Amazon what phrase of those sort of things makes the most sense if you read it out loud, and then also kind of people are searching for those things. So, but that would be a long tail keyword, okay? Now, another, like your subtitle, yet again, you want it to be targeted, but you can target a little bit different keywords. Okay, so an example for a long tail keyword subtitle on the senior citizen puzzle book might be puzzles and activities that help elderly adults. I couldn't think of another word for senior citizens, but maybe if you guys come up with something, that's great. But elderly adults with Alzheimer's and memory loss, right? So I'm trying to target memory loss, puzzles, activities. So I'm trying to use those types of kind of the same idea. It's still the same. The subtitle still is the same idea. It's the same product, same customers, same people, but I'm looking at maybe they were looking for memory improvement. In the subtitle, I had, books to help with memory loss. So it just depends how your audience is typing it in. Your audience might be, books to help with memory improvement, or they might say books to help seniors with memory loss, right? So that's why I targeted it a little bit differently, because my audience might be typing in those types of keywords. So when you're creating your title and your subtitle, really think about how your customer would search for your book or search for a book that is like yours. Be targeted, be focused. It does you no good if I was to put a gift for my brother, aunt, uncle, grandfather. Maybe grandfather might work because it is senior citizen, so that might work. But it does me no good if I put those words in and then it appears in the search and then nobody buys it. That actually tells Amazon, is having issues today. So if I went black, sorry. You're not doing yourself any favors by keyword stuffing, okay? And you want it to sound natural if you were to read it out loud, okay? So hopefully that's really helpful. Hey, Stephanie and MX Sport, that's really cool you're here. Thanks for being here. All right, so let's go to author name. There's a lot of things about author name. I had questions about pen names, so I thought I'd also include those answers as well. Your author name, yet again, is something that is keyword indexed, because if someone, they know, Amazon knows if someone's searching for their favorite author, Nora Roberts, Stephen King, like people search for Stephen King book, right? So they know that that is a word people search for, so it is definitely keyword indexed. That being said, you cannot put, Amazon does not like non-relevant keywords for low content books in there. Stephen King, he can put Stephen King on his books. You cannot, because you are not Stephen King. Even if your name is Stephen King, don't do it, right? Spell your name differently, put a Stephen Lee King, whatever. Don't be Stephen King, because that's confusing to the customer and they don't like that. So you want in your author name to be either a name, like it could be Laura Elliott, I don't know, whatever. It can be a name in your author name, or it can be a brand name. On my top of my head, I'm thinking Blue Sky Books, right? So that's like a publisher brand type name. And that's okay, because it's not, if I had a bunch of books under Blue Sky Books, it's not keywording anything. It's not like pet books and you're writing about pets. Or this memory loss one, you wouldn't put like Great Alzheimer's Press. No, don't do that. Okay, pick something that's a little less keywordy and something that you can write a brand name around. A good brand name, if you're going to actually make a brand name, look and see if you can find the URL for it. I like to use namecheap.com, but you can also use GoDaddy to buy domain names. So look if that domain name is there. Another thing you should do with pen names is always check a trademark to see if you are accidentally, something is trademarked. You cannot trademark a book title, okay? A book can be copyrighted, but it can't be trademarked. A series can be trademarked. So like the Twilight series, that is trademarked. The book Twilight isn't. but I wouldn't use Twilight because yet again, the series Twilight is trademarked. So check and see if there's a trademark. You can do that on the USPTO. That's at least for the US where a lot of books are sold. I am not as positive on the UK because I've usually just typed into Google UK trademarking and things come up. So you can check for a trademark. Another thing to do is Google it. So whatever you're trying to use for your pen name or your author name, Google it so that you can make sure that it's not a famous person you don't know about. I heard of one person theirs got rejected because they had a pen name. It was their name, like it was their name, but their name was a famous person, a famous like photographer in France, and they didn't know that. So what they just did is put a middle initial. So they put their name and then the middle initial, and that made it different. And Amazon was okay with that. So you just Google it, check the trademarks, check a domain name. It's if it doesn't have a domain name, it's probably not trademarked. It could be, but that's a good test too. So those are kind of the things you can look at. Okay, let's see. Pen names, how many should you have? I have hundreds. Hundreds are hard to follow. Do I recommend hundreds? Probably not at this point in time. When I was first doing this, I didn't know what I wanted to focus on. I didn't know what I was doing exactly, and I just put a bunch of stuff out there. Now I'm focusing down on to 3 brands, and those I try and put as much as I can within those. How do you decide on your brand and what you put in your pen name? You should put things that your same target audience would like. So yet again, I'm big on target audience. Understand who you're selling your book to, and that way you can keep those same type of people within that pen name. You can put some different stuff like kids books and erotica. That is no, you do not want to do that. Or, adult swearing coloring books with kid coloring books. No, that's a bad thing to include in the same pen name. Now, could you include Christian kids coloring books and Christian adult coloring books? Yes, because a Christian mom might say, yes, I would love to have my kid have a coloring book, right? It's the same audience, and they would be fine with it. But don't mix things that people might be offended by if they were together. So kind of think through that. What would your target audience like and enjoy? If you're talking about like hiking books and running books and, camping log books, all those sorts of things. Yeah, because it's an outdoorsy type thing. Sports books, log books, camping, those type of things all could be included because your target audience, if they're into hiking and camping, they might be into soccer and all these different things. So those types of things, yes, are definitely can be combined into a pen names. Now, author central accounts. So let's talk about author pages and author central account. You manage your author pages through your author central account. You can have 3 pen names per author central account. Okay, and you can actually have more than one. I think I have 2 author central accounts, and I tried to open a third, and I was annoyed because it asked me an email question, and I kind of gave up. But I have 2, so I know you can have 2. So multiple author central accounts is fine, but you can only have 3 pen names within an author central account. And that's kind of it. Do you need an author central account for all your brand names? No, you don't need an author page, an author central account for every single brand you have. I would save if I was doing this over, I would kind of figure out what I wanted to do more things. And then once I kind of focused down on what brands I wanted to do, I would only create author pages for those brands. I've had a long journey through KDP. If you know, I started in 2015. And I've done fiction, nonfiction, young adult romance, young adult paranormal romance, clean romance, fiction, books, essays, nonfiction, all sorts of stuff. So I have a lot of pen names, and my journey wandered. So if I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have created as many author pages as I have, because managing that much is a lot. I would have kind of expanded out, tried a bunch of stuff. And then once I decided to focus down, then I would have done my author pages. So maybe state your author pages and what author pages you want to do. Hold that in reserve until you kind of figure out your KDP journey. Okay. Once you figure out what's selling and what you like to do. Let's see. But pages are, author pages aren't, you don't need an author page to do well in KDP. All right. Hi, Patricia. And questions. That's kind of it. I'm going to do a separate video about keywords. I have kind of a whole keywords series I'm going to do. I'm going to delve down into niches and then give keywords. And then I'm going to talk about advertising and keywords. So to kind of delve into each. But that's kind of a whole separate topic. But remember, the three most important things are your title, subtitle, and author name, because those the Amazon algorithm puts the most weight on. So if you're going to spend time on something, spend time on those. Really think about it. Don't keyword stuff. Focus on your audience. And as you focus on your audience and you get more purchases, because if your audience is relative to what you, if they want to buy it because it delivered the right book to their search and they buy it, Amazon will start showing it to more and more people, and they'll kind of broaden it. So you really want to think about those. And then your back end keywords can then help you once Amazon decides to broaden your search. But your keywords are important, but they are not the end all be all. I have quite a few books that I did a really good job on my keyword or my subtitle and my title, and my back end keywords are not really that great, but they sell well because I did a really good job focusing my title. And if you can see me, oh, there we go. I'm back. Okay. Questions. Does anyone have questions, or just any questions? Questions about that? Questions about anything? That's kind of all I had to talk about today. Like I said, I'm going to do some keywords and talk about keywords in some other videos. Oh, I know I have some news for you all. I will not be live this week or next week because I am going to be out of town and I won't have a live, but I will have I'm going to have 2 interviews. I am interviewing the Home Boss channel. So if you know Nuria, I'm interviewing her, and I'm also interviewing a viewer. I'm interviewing Vicky, and she's going to talk about Clubhouse, and she's created some Clubhouse books and kind of talking about creating KDP books with trending topics. And then I also have another interview lined up. So I'm going to interview them this week. I'm going to post those on my channel on Wednesday at noon Eastern time zone, -5 GMT. So you'll still have something to watch. I also have a bunch of other stuff I'm going to put on this week, just little tidbits. So make sure you come back and check my channel out. And yeah, so you'll see stuff on Wednesday next week. Okay. Yes, I know. Creating a graphic on PowerPoint. That is next. I hope to do that before my YouTube channel, but it didn't happen today or like yet. So I'm hoping I can do that later on after I finish this. So yeah, that's about it. Come check out my Facebook group. I'm going to do a video about PowerPoint and grouping graphics so you can move them around. I'm going to put that in my Facebook group today. Facebook group's in the show notes. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and all of that. And I will see you not live next week or the next week, but I will be here, and my channel will have new material this week and next week. And so come back and check me out. All right. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.